What's up, Internet? I'm Deanna Jean Pierce, and this is my spiritual YouTube channel, The Faith That Grows. And I'm really happy to say that I have a rose to give today to Reverend Crocker, who is a co-senior minister at the First Unitarian Society in Madison. Right as the Church of Union is shutting down to one service per month. The church I've been going to physically, that I believe I have deep purpose with, Reverend Crocker did a sermon today, about, it was called "The Messiah is Among You." And so she is essentially talking about how everyone is the Christ. And the timing for this is not a mistake. This is how God works. Here's your rose. It's pink for the feminine, because the world needs more feminine leadership at this time. And so it was just perfect. It was just perfect that as the Church of Union is shutting down to one Sunday service a month, even though I've been reaching out with passion and energy and the full force of God trying to move through me, in regard to the church and my purpose there, and had everything happened in God's way without upsets on the side of COU's part, we would have had a very seamless transition and continued flow of Sunday services. Just because God isn't flowing through you anymore to do something, or you're having blocks to doing something, it probably means because God's coming through someone else, and it's your turn to receive sermons. And so Church of Union's not understanding like the give and take and the circle of life. Essentially, they're resisting it so hard. It's so weird to me. Yeah, so the Church of Union shutting down to one Sunday service per month makes me feel, what it reminds me of is how the Divine Feminine goes through her menstrual cycle once a month and is very in tune with lunar and moon cycles with her menstrual cycle. Me and one of my friends info dumped about how women are in tune with the moon and moon cycles a year or so ago, and I've seen certain YouTubers kind of start talking about this more and more, how the feminine is designed to be in touch with moon cycles and her menstrual cycle. And so the Church of Union shutting down to one service a month is, to me, screaming upset with Divine Feminine leadership. What the Church of Union's doing to me is exactly what happened with Kamala Harris. She was holding the vision, and God was trying to move through her so badly, and everyone just could not get their shit together and give her the support that she actually needed. And it's really sad and stupid. I've made some posts about this on my Facebook recently. And I understand that some people might think I'm being sexist with how I'm talking, but I'm happy to have a full debate with you where we can counterpoint, and really get to the truth here. We're still living in the patriarchy, my friends. This is it. The patriarchy is all about storms. Thinking about storms, creating storms. Now, what am I saying? I'm not saying the divine masculine and the patriarchy are one thing, because they're not. The divine masculine and the patriarchy are two different things. The patriarchy is the manifestation of deep imbalance and unhealed. It's lack of union, lack of balance. It's separation, it's domination. And it's the dark ages. It's the dark ages on planet Earth. So we're in the patriarchy right now. Kamala's name actually means lotus, if you didn't know that. And after Dan and I went to the Kamala Harris rally in Madison here, right before the last election, when we got in the car afterwards, the song Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars was playing in the car, and there was a massive rainstorm going on. So if you don't notice, Donald Trump, all he does is kind of fuck around and kind of mull in problems. And there's just a lot of wasted time, wasted energy, wasted resources. And it's a game that the unhealed masculine plays to dominate the feminine. And it stems from deep pain and separation. And so I can have compassion for it. But it's a massive part of my life purpose to call this out and help heal it. So the patriarchy, and once again, the patriarchy and divine masculine is not synonymous with one another. There's the healed masculine, and then there's the patriarchy. I hope we understand the difference. So the patriarchy is all about storms. Oh, we got another storm coming. Oh, we got another problem coming. Funny enough, this is actually how a lot of men perceive the feminine energy when the feminine is expressing upset, irritation, being perceived as being demanding. So my observation is that when a feminine expresses upset, it's actually because something's wrong in a dynamic, because of the depth of emotional intelligence of the feminine. And so oftentimes a feminine will express something's wrong, and people will say you're just upset. But actually they're expressing that something's wrong because they have that emotional intelligence and they feel the interconnectedness of everything. I want to talk about the patriarchy so bad. You have no idea. I don't have a lot of time and extra energy for any of the things I want to be doing. So what the patriarchy does is it wants you to submit to its control and assert dominance. I was just researching this last night. You do receive a hit of dopamine for oppressing someone else and trying to dominate someone else. What the patriarchy wants is to be on top. It's just like the movie Barbie. I love the Barbie movie and how it kind of shows the male and female ego so much. The patriarchy doesn't yet want to hand over full reins to feminine wisdom, even though that's what's needed, because it's just a hurt little arrogant boy. The patriarchy is like a really hurt, immature, underdeveloped, arrogant little boy who doesn't want to be humble and admit that God is coming through the feminine. And you might say, Deanna, what are you talking about? The Church of Union wants to heal sexism and all issues on the planet. It's not operating under patriarchy. Look at all the feminine leaders. Plenty of feminines give sermons and have leadership roles. What are you talking about? Well, women can still be submitting to and supporting the patriarchy. And in fact, a lot are still. God has been coming through me with passion and vision and leadership for the Church of Union for years. I've had ideas for my own sermons. I've had ideas for other sermons. I've noticed when things have felt off in Sunday services. I've wanted to be helping lead the music department for a long time. I have so much vision, so much passion, so many ideas. And you guys don't want anything to do with it. And I believe it's rooted in sexism. Even if you think, what? Ask me. Let's have a back and forth conversation. I would like to know whose idea it was to shut Sunday services down to once per month. Who did the idea come through? And what was their supposed reasoning behind it? So, right as the church is failing to partner and collaborate and listen to my vision and leadership, I go to the First Unitarian Society in Madison today and hear the Divine Feminine Kelly Crocker giving a beautiful sermon about how the Messiah is among you. And it was just perfect. We all need to start assessing more accurately when God is coming through you or not, and when God is coming through another or not. I am going to link Kelly Crocker's sermon below. I think all unionists should watch it. we need to move into matriarchy. And it's not so we can suppress men, although women have been suppressed for a very long time on this planet. The point of matriarchy is to rebalance and have love actually be leading. So here's the rose for Kelly Crocker. Thank you for channeling God for the whole planet today. Of course it came through the feminine. Of course it was about Christhood. Sexism is really sneaky. Women can be sexist towards themselves and other women without even realizing it. And the whole planet failed Kamala. Just putting that out there. And it's time to really surrender to who is holding the God for anything. This is what unionism is supposed to really be about. Unionism is supposed to be about God through everyone and everyone being the Christ. And there's a big difference, a massive difference between espousing that and actually living up to it. So, what's going on with the Church of Union right now feels scary and unnecessary. This shutting down to one service per month because it's God's will, that's not real. That's not the truth. That feels so bad. I have tons of ideas. I've had tons of vision and leadership. I want to be talking to people and getting people together. And I want to be helping direct Sunday services and music. Because it's my life purpose. It doesn't just go away. Your life purpose doesn't just go away. Like, it's who I am. And so this is a created storm that is unnecessary. This is a created situation from lack of collaboration, partnership, and humility. This isn't like a necessary storm we all need to ride out one service a month. Oh no. It's very unnecessary. Dan Thalen would love to be part of services again. I would. There's lots of people who have never done a sermon or have rarely done sermons that have plenty of talent. They just probably need to be nurtured into it or encouraged. So I notice when I tune into COU right now, I feel a really angry, punishing, masculine energy behind it all. And then when I went to First Unitarian Society in Madison today, I felt the feminine love and innocence and protection and mothering. And I'm like, this is exactly what I need right now. I don't need a punishing, angry dad energy. So thank you, Kelly Crocker, for being the Christ today. I would love to keep talking about all of this stuff. But I just need so much more support to do what I really want to do in life. But yeah, let's stop submitting ourselves to supposed leaders and supposed, and Kelly Crocker talked about this in her sermon. Just go watch her sermon. I'll link it below. God is always doing a new thing because God is both masculine and feminine. God is always doing, like, here's how God works. If you think you have it all figured out, and you're like, God's moving through this person, and this is how it is. You know what God's gonna do just to help you release control? God's gonna start moving through. God's gonna pop up over here. Be like, look it over here. God is trying to bring you into perfect union with him. So, like, the Messiah is among you. I cannot believe the arrogance of a Church of Union over these last few years. This would be no different than if Jason was like, I have all these ideas for Divine Dish, guys. And everyone just blocked him and banned him and shut Divine Dish down to 1 meal per month or week. God created us all with purpose. And if I look tired and worn out, it's because I'm sick of the unhealed divine masculine's abuse. We were supposed to do a whole month of autism awareness for the month of April for Sunday services. I really wanted to help lead and organize that, and I've been wanting to do that. The first month I wanted to do it was April of 2024, in tandem with a total solar eclipse at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, in tandem with the Tortured Poets Department. God is really trying to take this movement global, and I was supposed to really help usher in the new era starting in 2023. And you guys are still not releasing control. So, I would like to see the Church of Union in a more gentle, proactive, long-term thinking, inclusive, compassionate, loving, supportive energy, instead of this random, chaotic, dramatic, punishing energy, because it's just not necessary. So yeah, thank you, Kelly Crocker. Here is your rose, your pink rose. You're doing great work, and thanks for watching.